Let's discuss the points of the eye system. Do 16, Fengfu, Palace of Wind. Location on the posterior midline, directly below the external occipital protuberance in the depression between the origins of the trapezius muscle. How to find the external occipital protuberance is a hump-shaped projection on the posterior surface of the occipital bone on the midline and slightly superior to the craniocervical junction. Okay. Locate Do16 in a depression on the posterior midline that can be palpated directly inferior to the protuberance and between the two origins of the trapezius muscle. Generally, Do16 is located approximately 1 tune superior to the posterior hairline. GB20 is located on the same level below the occiput in a depression between the origins of the trapezius and sternocleidomastoid muscle. Needling 0.5 to 1 tune slightly oblique in an inferior direction. Bend the patient's head slightly forward when needling. Caution, dangerous point with deep needling, no stimulation. Strictly no needling in a superior direction. Danger of puncturing the cerebellomedullary cistern, also site for suboccipital puncture. The needle should be inserted into the nuchal ligament. According to some authors, moxibustion is contraindicated. Actions, indications, dispel external wind, calms internal wind and the Shen, nourishes the sea of Marrow, lightens the Shen. Special features, meeting point with the Yang Wei Mai, and according to some authors, the Yang Chao Mai. Sea of Marrow Point, window of Heaven Point, Sun Si Miao Ghost Point, used for all disorders which are caused by external or internal wind and which are characterized by sudden onset, changing location and or intensity of disorder, involuntary movement. It extinguishes interior wind, those in opisthotonus, aphasia from windstroke hemiplegia. Expels exterior wind in aversion to cold, fever, body aches, occipital stiffness, and headache. It nourishes marrow and benefits the brain in headache, dizziness, tinnitus, blurred vision. It calms the mind and opens the mind's orifices in manic behavior, desire to commit suicide, sadness, and fear. Do16 eliminates both exterior and interior wind. It can therefore be used for exterior attacks of wind cold or wind heat, as well as for patterns of interior wind, such as in windstroke, epilepsy, or severe giddiness. Its capacity in eliminating wind in general makes it a very important point to relieve headaches from liver yang rising, liver wind, liver fire, and acute headaches from exterior wind. Its action in treating headaches is also partly due to these points being a point of the eye system which emerges from the brain at Do16 Fengfu. Do16 is a point of sea of Marrow. The marrow fills up the brain, and this point can clear the mind and stimulate the brain. Window of the sky, point of sea of Marrow, ghost point, crossing point of Dumai, and Yang Wei Mai, linking vessel. This point is effective in treating the patient at the spirit level. It can clear the head and bring perspective to their life and aid the integration of body, mind, and spirit. Helps the patient to hear and see with enhanced clarity. As a sea of Marrow point in combination with Do15, 19, and 20, Do16 can nourish the brain and the senses. This is a window of the sky point. It is suggested that the practitioner consider treating window points on the CF first before using this point to gauge its response. Wind Palace is particular name of the point conveys some of the benevolence of wind, its movement and ability to refresh. It is found here in a precious place a palace of senses where a branch of Dumai enters the brain. This is a powerful point to reawaken and stimulate the sensory organs and motivate the spirit. All window of heaven points promote the free exchange of chi in the neck bridge area. If there is a blockage of chi in this area, the body, mind, or spirit may be affected, causing symptoms of mental disturbance, problems affecting the sense organs, or disorders of the breath and digestion resulting from rebellious chi. This point might be chosen when someone's spirit regularly becomes deeply discouraged or feels embattled by life. They cannot sustain their spirit or keep motivated on their path. This yang point on the predominantly yang Dumai intensifies the freeing and brightening the aspect of any window of the sky. It is a potent point that can illuminate and restore a sense of rooted but expanded hope for a brighter future, as well as opening the window to allow the spirit to be present with a greater sense of connection to heavenly chi. Wind palace, as well as the benevolent relationship with wind, this area is vulnerable to attack by wind. It is a most useful point to clear pathogenic wind, whether from an internal or external cause. Wind stroke epilepsy colds. A branch of Dumai enters the brain here and brings yang to clear and stimulate the yin of the sea of Marrow and the sense organs. The alternative names, root of preoccupation and clear-headedness, indicated the possible use of this point to clear the frustrations of thoughts continually swirling about with no direction of resolution. Fengfu is one of the ghost points. Its location on the predominantly yang Dumai as this place of entry to the brain with its stimulating effect on the mind and spirit makes it a great point to restore someone to full consciousness and strength.